person whose calm everyone admires is not strong. They are scarred. That detachment was not chosen. It was built one disappointment at a time, until feeling less became the only way to keep functioning. You see their control and want it. You do not see what they had to stop feeling to get it. You thought of someone else just now. That is the protection working. A callus only forms where something kept rubbing the skin raw. Their steadiness is a measure of the damage. Every time they did not react, they were not winning. They were burying. And what gets buried does not die. It calcifies. It becomes the wall between them and anyone who tries to get close. You are thinking, this is about someone else. That thought is the same distance they keep. You cannot trust someone who never loses their cool. They have already decided that showing you what they feel is too dangerous. They will protect their composure long before they protect you. The moment you become the thing that threatens it, the moment you need something real, you will watch them become a stranger right in front of you. Their peace was never for you. It was a quarantine. Where does this begin? It begins in childhoods where emotion was punished or ignored or simply had no place. The child learns quickly that the expression of need makes things worse. The parent withdraws, the environment destabilizes, the punishment comes, or worse, the indifference. The child does not decide to become stoic. The child discovers that the self who feels and the self who survives are not the same self. The feeling self gets left behind, not with ceremony, but by slow abandonment. By the time this person is an adult, they do not remember having chosen this. It simply is. They are the calm one, the reliable one, the one who never makes a scene. There is an evolutionary logic here that still functions in modern life. In unstable environments, emotional restraint predicts survival. The child who can read a room and modulate their response lives in the household longer, gets fed more regularly, avoids the worst outcomes. The nervous system learns that arousal is threat, that expression is danger. This is not weakness, it is adaptation. The problem is that the environment changes and the adaptation does not. The adult workplace is not the childhood home, but the body does not know this. The body still registers a disagreement in a meeting as the same category of threat as a parent's unpredictable rage. The response is the same. Shut it down. Feel nothing. Endure. In practice, this looks like precision. The email that gets rewritten 12 times until every trace of reaction is removed. The conversation rehearsed in the shower. Never held. The decision made 3 times. Never executed. The relationship ended in the mind years before the actual leaving, because the leaving itself would require a display of want, of preference, of pain. The calm person does not avoid conflict because they are above it. They avoid it because conflict would require them to locate a self that has not been accessible for decades. They do not know where that self is kept. They are not sure it still exists. At work, this is often mistaken for leadership. The executive who never panics, who absorbs crisis without visible disturbance, who makes decisions while others are still reacting. What is not visible is the cost of that absorption, the body that never discharges its stress loads, the sleep that never fully rests, the relationships that function as transactions because genuine collaboration would require the vulnerability of not knowing, of needing, of being affected. They are promoted for the very quality that will hollow them out. The organization rewards the damage and calls it discipline. In intimate relationships, the pattern is more visible but harder to name. The partner who never raises their voice, who never makes demands, who never seems to need anything specific. This looks like ease. It is not ease. It is absence. The calm partner is not participating. They are managing. They are ensuring that nothing happens that would require them to feel something they have spent a lifetime ensuring they cannot feel. The other partner often senses the emptiness but cannot locate it. They blame themselves. They try to be more interesting, more accommodating, less demanding. They do not understand that the space between them is not distance that can be crossed. It is a wall that was built from the inside, and the person behind it does not have the tools to dismantle it. Their peace was never for you. It was a quarantine. The intelligent person's version of this pattern is the most difficult to recognize. They have read the literature. They can describe their attachment style, their family system, their nervous system dysregulation. The vocabulary of psychology has given them a sophisticated set of reasons to remain exactly where they are. They say they are processing. They say they need more information. They say they are being thoughtful. What they are doing is the same thing anyone else would do. They are not moving. The intelligence is in the service of the stillness. They have turned their pattern into a theory of themselves, and the theory protects the pattern. Understanding has become another form of control. The high achiever's version is more visible because it is so rewarded. The athlete who performs under pressure, the surgeon who operates through fatigue, the founder who persists through failure. The capacity to function without emotional interference is genuinely valuable in certain contexts. The question is what happens when the context ends? When the career is over? When the body fails? When there is no external structure demanding performance? The achievement was a container for the self. Without it, there is nothing to pour into. The calm becomes emptiness. The discipline becomes vacancy. They have built a life that required them to not be present in it. And now that life is ending or has ended, and they do not know how to be present in whatever comes next. I do not have this pattern. I have only watched it. What I find remarkable is how little knowing that changes anything for the person who does. The cost accumulates in ways that are not visible until they are catastrophic. The body keeps score in its own language. The immune system that fails, the inflammation that becomes chronic, the sudden cardiac event in the person who never seemed stressed. These are not mysteries. They are the physiological translation of a lifetime of unprocessed experience. The nervous system that never completed its cycles, that never discharged, that kept absorbing and absorbing until something broke. The identity cost is subtler and more profound. The calm person believes themselves to be rational, controlled, mature. They have constructed a self-concept around their capacity to not be affected. This is who they are. The problem is that identity is not a fixed structure. It is a process. And the process they have optimized excludes the very inputs that would allow it to evolve. They are not growing. They are maintaining. The person they believe themselves to be is a photograph of a moment, preserved while the actual organism moved on without them. They are loyal to a self that no longer exists, if it ever did. The relationship cost is the one they feel last and understand least. The people who loved them and left, not because of conflict, but because of absence. The children who learned that love in this household meant not needing anything. The friends who gradually stopped calling because the friendship required a presence that was never available. The calm person often believes their relationships ended because others were too demanding, too emotional, too unstable. They do not see that others were simply still alive in a way they had trained themselves not to be. The wall that protected them from feeling became the wall that kept connection out. And what gets buried does not die. It calcifies. What happens when they become aware of this? Usually, very little. Awareness is not the same as access. They can see the pattern, name it, trace its origins. The knowledge sits in the same cognitive space where all their other knowledge sits. It does not reach the body. It does not change the reflex. They have a new description of their prison, not a key to it. The rare exception requires something they are specifically unprepared to provide. Sustained exposure to the very states they have spent a lifetime avoiding. The grief they did not feel. The rage they suppressed. The need they disguised. These are not memories to be recalled. They are physiological states to be inhabited. And inhabiting them feels like dying because, to the nervous system that organized around their avoidance, that is exactly what it is. The self that learned to survive by not feeling must be willing to risk not surviving in order to become something else. Most will not. The protection is too effective, too deeply installed, too indistinguishable from identity itself. From outside the mechanism, what is most striking is not how often it fails people. It is how reliably it protects them from finding out. The moment you become the thing that threatens it, the moment you need something real, you will watch them become a stranger right in front of you. This is not betrayal. It is architecture. They did not choose this in the present moment. They chose it long ago, when choosing meant surviving. And they have been maintaining that choice ever since. You cannot appeal to a self that is not there. You cannot love them into presence. Your need is not a gift you are offering. It is a demand their system cannot meet, and their system will protect itself from your demand by removing you from its perimeter. Not with cruelty, with the same calm that you once admired, the same calm that was never strength, the same calm that was scar tissue, grown over a wound that never healed, that cannot be touched without the whole structure remembering what caused it. They are not evil. They are not cold. They are not even, in most cases, unaware. They are organized around a single imperative that predates your relationship with them by decades. You are not exempt from this. You are not special enough to be the exception. No one is. The wall does not discriminate. It does not know you. It knows only threat and non-threat, and anything that asks them to feel is threat. Your love is threat. Your need is threat. Your aliveness is threat. You cannot trust someone who never loses their cool, not because they will harm you intentionally, because they have already decided, in the architecture of their being, that your experience of them is less important than their experience of control. They will protect their composure long before they protect you. They will protect it long after you are gone. They will protect it until something breaks that cannot be repaired, or until they die still wondering why the life they built feels like it belonged to someone else.